The Ottawa Senators have won the first overall pick 3 years in a row. What have I done? It's gonna be +5 on the first line. Puck on a string, great stick handling, shut down, elite rush defending, ice pack, great shot blocking, truculence, great hitter, and no contest, great puck battling. Well, what was that? What was that about stunting Vesey's growth? All right, Utah, we are back. And it's time for us to start up our Year 6 season simulation with your Utah Yeti, your defending Stanley Cup champion, Utah Yeti. And can we go back to back? Can we get another chip here in year number 6? Only time will tell. We're going to get a lot of simulating done in this video. But you know what? I actually would like to summarize what's going on in this universe for you guys. One of the problems with GM modes in general, not just from EA Sports, is the further you go into your story, into your own universe, the harder it is to understand what the hell is going on, which players are where, which teams are on the rise, which teams are falling off. There's a lot of juicy storylines that are right there that you're never going to discover unless you actually put in the time. And since I'm the one in control, I thought we'd start off this video with a little bit of editing and a little bit of a summary on the first 5 years here with your Utah Yeti. So you all know the Stanley Cup champions from last season, the Yeti. We started in the 23-24 season. That was year 0. I took over in 24-25. So the Stanley Cup winners so far, Vancouver in year 0, Florida, Edmonton, Washington, Toronto, and then the Yeti. So in 6 years, 6 different Stanley Cup winners, and also the teams that lost in the Stanley Cup final, Carolina, then Vegas, then the Islanders, and then Chicago, then Colorado, and then the New York Rangers. That's been 12 different teams over the last 6 years in the Stanley Cup final. Not really a dynasty forming so far, right? And then if you look at the President's Trophies, the Rangers were right there. 3 freaking President's Trophies in a row just to lose in the Stanley Cup final in 5 games. But the Montreal Canadiens, and that's where we're going to start off here. So the Montreal Canadiens winning the President's Trophy last year, I can understand why. They got Cole Caulfield, 92. They got Mats Grossman, 91. He was drafted 2nd overall in 2025. That was the Andreas Kurtz year. He was drafted 4th overall. You got Nick Suzuki at 90 overall. So you got your center, you got your winger, you got your defender, all in the 90s. But the thing about this team that I really like, look at that blue line. I don't know how well these guys are going to develop, but right now it looks nice. Led by Mats Grossman, medium elite, 91 overall. They got Hudson at 87, Ryan Bacher at 85, Lundin at 85. Matheson has dropped down to an 82. I mean, they might just be one piece away from truly being a contender. So watch out for Montreal. Next up, you got the San Jose Sharks, who have been drafting heavily since we started up this universe, and they still haven't been able to crack the playoffs. Now, forget their overall for a second. Let me just sort by potential. Look at this, all right? So Eklund was already there. Nathaniel Chiodo, drafted 1st overall in year number 1. He is now 89 overall. Cal Alfredson, drafted 2nd overall in year number 2. Berkeley Catton, drafted 3rd overall in year number 0. I mean, look at all these guys, but they're all left wingers. They're all like playmakers, two-way forwards. Pavel Kuznetsov, drafted 4th overall last season in year number 4. Tverdovsky, this guy just went 2nd overall in 2029, right? So when are the San Jose Sharks going to turn this sucker around? All these great medium elite players, but when you look at their blue line led by Shea Theodore and Darnell Nurse, 34-34, they need some defensemen. The Seattle Kraken are a weird kind of dark horse team. I could see them missing the playoffs. I could see them actually having a pretty good season. First up, their center core. Matty Beniers, Shane Wright. They drafted Roger McQueen, 5th overall in year number 1. They got Jared McCann still in there, but look at that center core. Beniers, Wright, and McQueen. My God. You take a look at all of their players. They also have some veterans on this team. Vince Dunn at 90 overall. Brady Tkachuk, who they signed from free agency from the Ottawa Senators, right? So a nice little combination of veterans and young players here, but just a lack of depth. And what about the goaltender situation? UC Saros. So with Saros, with Tkachuk, and with Dunn, will it be enough to help the young guys get the Kraken into the playoffs? The Anaheim Ducks in the Pacific, a filthy team, and I think we got to start watching out for them in the Western Conference. First up, right, if you take a look at their potential, Leo Carlson, high elite, 92 overall. Pavel Mintyukov, a defenseman, 91 overall, medium elites. Quincy Tallender, this guy was drafted right after Grossman, right before Kurtz in the year 1 NHL entry draft. Kurtz went 4th overall, so that was a great draft for a defenseman, my God. And then you got Caden Lindstrom, who was drafted 5th overall in year 0. But what I like about their potential players, right now, all those potential players are all the best overall players on their team. You got 2 guys on the forward core who can play the wing and center, Carlson and Lindstrom, and then you got 2 defensemen, one on the left, one on the right, in Mint Yukov and Talander. But what really makes their team dangerous is their depth now, that are all locked in. 87 overall for Zegras, 3 years left. McTavish, 86, 3 years left. Richie, 84, 3 years left. Kraus, God damn it, 84, 3 years left. All right, they just got some nice depth, and they have superstars. And what do they got in the net? Not bad. So watch out for the Anaheim Ducks in the West. The Ottawa Senators, after drafting the 1st overall pick 3 years in a row, I have to say they might have the best 5-man lineup in the NHL. Let me explain myself, right? So first off, Bear Ernie, he grew to high franchise. He's already better than Jared Vesey. Oh, thank God we got a Stanley Cup. This team is on the rise. So you got Bear Ernie, who was drafted 1st overall in 2028. He's high franchise now. Sogcast, who was drafted 2nd overall in the year 0 draft. They got Lynch, who was 2 years ago, 1st overall pick. Hanzus, who was just drafted 1st overall, right? Timmy Stutzel, who was drafted 3rd overall in 2020. And then you got Sanderson in there as well. But when I talk about the best 5-man lineup, Ernie's a power forward on the wing. Sogcast is an offensive defenseman on the left side. Lynch is a defensive defenseman on the right side. Now, Hanzus and Ernie are both right wingers, but I imagine one of them could play the left wing. Hanzus is a sniper, and Timmy Stutzel is a playmaker. Playmaker, sniper, D-man, offensive D-man, and power forward. When these guys hit their prime, watch out for the Ottawa Senators. We stay in Canada, but go out west to the Calgary Flames. Now, we know they signed Austin Matthews. This could be a fun team to watch. I don't know how effective they would be. If you look at their potential, led by Austin Matthews, they have nothing but snipers on this team. Ryan Rubrick, who was drafted 5th overall in 2026, he's a sniper. Sam Dickinson, a defenseman, medium elite. That looks good. They got Joe Aginla, who's a sniper as well. They've extended him for 4 seasons. So between Aginla, Rubrick, and Matthews, who's going to pass these guys the puck? But they do have some pretty good players on this team. Brock Besser, we know he simulates well. Rasmus Anderson, he's still 87 overall. Jonathan Huberdeau down there at 85. So a fun team with a lot of young snipers led by Austin Matthews. I just don't know if they're going to be playoff bound. And the goaltender situation, although with an 87 overall Dustin Wolf, you never know. Next up, we got the Washington Capitals. Now, this one's a lot of fun. We know they won the Stanley Cup, what was it, 3 years ago, right? Because last year, it was us. The year before that, it was Toronto. Yeah, 3 years ago now. The old folks home got it done in the Stanley Cup final against Chicago. They don't have a good team, but they just drafted this guy, Tim Law, in the nation's capitals, where the laws are made. And what I love about him, look at his X factors. He's got one-timer. He's a right-handed sniper with 1T. It's OV 2.0, 5'9", 176 pounds. He's American, 1T. Maybe we can get some, I can take a look at what he looks like. But they also have Gavin McKenna, who plays like a pure playmaker. So it's almost like Ovi and Backstrom 2.0. McKenna and Law in the nation's capital. The Buffalo Sabres, a big question mark around this franchise. They have still yet to make the playoffs since 2011. That's like 18, 19 years, something like that. And I have no clue why. They got a good team. They've had a better squad as well. This is year 5 now. But Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power on the blue line, they have depth. Up front, Zach Benson, he was drafted 13th overall in 2023, so a real player there. He grew up to an 89. Tage Thompson, 88. Maybe lacking a superstar, but how come these guys didn't develop? What do they got in between the pipes? They got Devin Levy, who was drafted in 2020 in the 7th round. He developed quite nicely. So there's something wrong in Buffalo. It is just not working out. Another team that's going absolutely nowhere, the LA Kings. I do not know what to make of this lineup. They have Hector Gentile, who was drafted 3rd overall in 2026. Remember, a defenseman that we wanted to put alongside of Andreas Kurtz. They got Brant Clark, who's now 26 years of age. Quinn Byfield, who's 27. And the rest of their team are basically locked-in veterans. And these guys, they're not having great regular seasons, so I don't see youth on this team. I don't see superstar talent on this team. And they got an 82 overall Joey Decord in the net. Yeah, the LA Kings are an absolute mess. The Colorado Avalanche, still a very dangerous team led by two 96 overall players. A defenseman, offensive defenseman, Cale Makar, and a center playmaker, Nathan MacKinnon. With those two guys, that's essentially enough to make the playoffs and maybe steal a few playoff rounds as well. But their depth is leaving them. Yeah, Gabriel Landeskog, 36, 1 year left. He's dropping down to an exact top 6. Devin Taves, he's 35. He used to be medium elite or exact elite, 90 overall on that blue line. Nikushkin's 34. Kuzmenko's 33, right? You can see their depth is leaving them. And in the net, they still have Ingram, who is 32 years of age. But as long as they have Makar and MacKinnon at franchise, these guys will still be a threat in the West. The Columbus Blue Jackets, the home of Mikko Rantanen. He finally found a home with Columbus, and I gotta say, they look like they are 1 or 2 pieces away from a true Stanley Cup contender. Their forward core already looks fantastic, with Rantanen, Kent Johnson, and Adam Fantilli. That is 390 overalls. Then you got an 88, an 87, 84, 83, 83, 82. There's your top 9. 90s on the first, high 80s on the second, low 80s on the third. So they got their forward core. Their blue line with Jiricek, 89, Bachvist 86. That's nice. They have some depth, but that's what I mean about one piece. Like one 88 overall defenseman or even a 90 overall defenseman, their blue line would be set, and then the goaltender situation. So watch out for Columbus. If they get that goalie, if they get that defenseman, that's a true Stanley Cup contender. Now, the Dallas Stars, a very interesting squad here. They are getting up there in age, but they no doubt still have some very good players. But where are they going to get their reinforcements from? They got extremely lucky with the draft lottery, right? So when you take a look at all their best players, Robertson, Heiskanen, Hintz, Kempe, Stankoven, Harley, they're either in their 30s or in their late 20s, right? When you look at their blue line, led by Heiskanen, Harley, and Lundqvist, not bad 3, they could use a little bit more, but these guys, 30, 28, 29 years of age, they need some help. And they moved from 16th up to 6th with the draft lottery and selected Yuri Korostin, defensive defenseman, drafted 6th overall at last year's draft. That was huge because the difference between a 16th and the 6th just landed them a medium elite 80 overall defenseman that is the perfect reinforcements for an aging team. So Dallas got so lucky with the draft lottery this season. The Detroit Red Wings land Michigan's own Quinn Hughes off a trade from the Utah Yeti. We sent the trade rights or the signing rights of Quinn Hughes to Detroit for a second-round pick, and they locked him up. 7 years, $14 million per season, basically. And that's exactly what a young Detroit Red Wing team needed. They want to start making the playoffs. They got their leader. They got their alpha. They got their superstar. So when you look at their team, I mean, they got a bunch of young players here. Palika, Casper, you got Raymond in there, but they're not prospects. They're like in their mid-20s, so yeah, they're ready to win right now. And if you take a look at their AHL squad, they do have a wealth of prospects. They're all medium top 6s or medium top 4s. But that's what I mean. It's perfect to now bring in those players underneath a true superstar like Quinn Hughes. And most importantly, their goaltender, Gabriel Daig, 22 years of age, medium elite, 85 overall. To put a stud defenseman on front of the future stud prospect goaltender, that's a nice fit for the Detroit Red Wings. So congratulations and good luck to Quinn Hughes over there with the Wings. The Edmonton Oilers. Now, I really don't want to crap on the Oilers. We are 8-0 against them in the last 8 playoff appearances, but they still have McDavid. They still got Draisaitl. They're getting up there in age. The problem is, what did they do in the offseason? They got 1 year older as a team, and they brought in Nicholas Robertson, brother of Jason Robertson from the Dallas Stars. This is the Toronto Maple Leaf. He's an exact top 6, 87 overall, and they just locked him up for 5 years at $11.5 million. He's making the same as Leon Draisaitl, so I don't know what to make of this squad. Again, I don't want to rip on them. They got the studs up front. Robertson now is their 3rd best forward. Not a lot of depth, and their blue line, it ain't horrible with Travis Sanheim, but 33, 32, 33 years of age, and goaltender Stuart Skinner at 30. Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers, they've already got their Stanley Cup in this universe, but future does not look bright for them. The Minnesota Wild, led by GM Davidson, upgraded from scout. What is this team doing? On paper, they look great. Kaprizov, Misa's now a 90. Clayton Keller's a 90 overall. You got 3 90 overall players. Rossi, 89. Jansevsky, 88. Eriksson Ek, 88. That top 6 is filth. They got an 88 on their 3rd line. Look at that forward core. My goodness. But the blue line, they haven't really upgraded it at all, even with all those assets. So Faber, Whitecloud, Sonnenberg, there you go. There's something. Medium elite, 82 overall, drafted 5th overall in 2027. Yeah, they need him to jump, and they need him to jump very quickly. But that team on paper looks good. I think it just goes back to too many playmakers. Misa, Keller, Rossi's a two-way forward playmaker. Jansevsky, a first overall pick from year 0. What the heck are they doing over there in Minnesota? And last but not least, the New Jersey Devils, who I feel have the best roster in the NHL minus the goaltender. Now, it's led by the Hart Trophy winner from last season, Jack Hughes. I want to show you guys something. This guy had an unbelievable season last year, 40 goals, 121 points, so arguably the best player in the NHL right now, and behind him, a very deep squad. So you got a 95 on the first line. Nico Hischier, a defensive stud at 92, can also chip in on the offense. In fact, let me take a look at some of these stats here. What does he do? Yeah, he still gets, there was the defensive seasons, he just chipped in for 92, so perhaps they're playing on the same line now. Jesper Bratt at 91. Their second line, 287s with an 86. Their third line, an 84 with 283s. Their fourth line, like 80s. You can see what I'm talking about, right? They have everything. The superstars, the depth. If you take a look at their blue line, Simon Nemec, 89 overall. Luke Hughes, 86. Dursey, 86. So you could make the argument they don't have that 90-something overall defenseman, but 89 is still pretty good. They got the depth, and they got this guy, Tucker Jaspers, who was drafted. When was he drafted? 2028. So a year ago, they must have not had a good team, and then they made the playoffs. So they picked up an offensive defenseman in Tucker Jaspers, who can play with Jack Hughes. Oh my God, yeah, they're a team to really watch out for. It's just the goaltender, right? If they could find a goalie, the New Jersey Devils might be the best team in the NHL. Okay, so let me know how you guys feel about that segment of the GM mode. I can do that to start up every single year. Don't need to go through every team. There's a lot of teams that you guys would still recognize the rosters, but just the ones that I see some movement. I went through all the teams, just trying to find some storylines. Now, at least it's in my own head for any potential matchups that may happen throughout the regular season. Now, before we get to preseason and all that stuff, there is a major problem that I am seeing with this team, which is forcing me into a potential trade right now, right? So the first line, I'm loving that. With Raimo Curry, my God, this guy's stats. I mean, look at the puck skills category, man. It's mid-90s. This guy is a pure playmaking, physical machine. I don't even know what to make of it. The defensive awareness is a little bit low. The offensive awareness is a little bit low, and his skating is low. And we know that those three numbers are really heavy in determining the overall. So the fact that Raimo Curry is up to 87 overall with those three numbers being low, like the other numbers are, he's amazing. He's an amazing player. So we found our first line of the future. The second line, now here's where it gets interesting, right? I want to try to win the Stanley Cup this year. And to do that, it seems like Josh Stone and Gunther on the second line would be a better fit. But I'm looking at Ladislav Sivan, the fact that he jumped to medium elite, and the fact that he wanted more than 2.75, this guy could be our second liner of the future. Now, there's no point in playing him there this season, but I could give him power play time. Now, the odd man out here is Sergei Karpatsev. I take a look at his stats. I don't like the chemistry situation. Last year, it was different because I didn't know if it was going to be Karpatsev or Curry on that first line of the future. It's now Curry. So now Karpatsev becomes a second liner at best or a bottom six player, but that's a lot of value that we got for Sergei Karpatsev. He's also a guy who just had his rookie season last year, scored 41 points in 82 games played. He played in the playoffs. He won the Stanley Cup, and we know that every team that wins a Stanley Cup, all their players increase in value. This is a 22-year-old that just won a Stanley Cup as a rookie, had 8 points in 21 games played, a +8, and is locked up 8 years at a pretty good contract. So you know what? For the first time, I think we have a bona fide elite young talent that we can flip for a draft pick or something, because when I look at this guy, defensively, he's great. And if we want to use him in the bottom six, fine. But I can find a bottom six player. That's not a problem. Nabokov is already there. The only spot that I could find a place for him would be on that second line. But I was diving into his stats, and there's something that jumps out at me that I do not like. Some two-way forwards are playmaker two-way forwards. Karpatsev seems like he's a shooting two-way forward. Take a look at those shot totals. Last year, 206 shots for Sergei Karpatsev. To put that into perspective for you guys, right? We take a look at Gunther, for example. Last year, he only shot 192 times. You put Josh Doan in there. Last year, he only shot 150 times, right? You put Raimo Curry in there, who was playing first-line time and first-line power play. He only shot the puck 116 times, right? Boris Nabokov, who's a two-way forward, same kind of build. He only shot the puck 92 times. So I'm thinking that Karpatsev is more of a shooter. But if we dive into these stats a little bit more, I found something that I'm not liking, right? The shooting percentage, 11%, then it dipped down to 5.6%. Then it went back up to 10.1, but then it dipped again to 7.3. So he shoots the puck, but he's not very accurate. And when you take a look at his stats, now you know why. Look at the shooting category. 81, 81, 81, and 80. And the fact that he's a two-way forward means that his defensive stats will grow if he grows up there. The same thing with Curry, right? He grew to 87, but it's the physical and the shot blocking stats that are getting up there, even the playmaking stats. I don't think we're going to get Karpatsev's shot to the mid-90s, which means I don't think he's got a place on this team. I think the future is fine with Laine, Doan, and Gunther, and then Nabokov, Sivan, and even this Norrinen guy. And let me give you guys an example, the difference between Karpatsev, Norrinen, and Sivan. Karpatsev is a shooter with horrible shooting category, right? Sivan is a sniper. Look at his shooting category. Not a hard shot, but a very accurate shot. And because he's a sniper, you could almost guarantee that the power will get better. So his shot is good. He's got good passing. His offensive awareness is 84. Where he's weak, physical, and a little bit of defense, but he's a center. So that's acceptable for that player type. Jani Norrinen, he's a playmaker, and what stat is the biggest? His passing, 97. So this is an example of players who their stats, their individual stats, are actually benefiting the way they play. Karpatsev plays like a shooter, like a sniper two-way forward, but he's got a horrible shooting category. So I'm going to make an executive decision here, ladies and gentlemen. Sergei Karpatsev, we are going to move on from. I don't need him on the fourth line. It's too much trade value, and I don't really need any roster players. So I have already done some pre-scouting. We're going to call this the Sergei Karpatsev sweepstakes. Find a trade just to give you guys a look-see on what could come back the other way. Look, it's a good trade value. And like I said, a 22-year-old who just succeeded in the playoffs, locked up 7 years at 2.750, there'd be so many teams that would be, well, I guess not. There'd be so many teams that want to get him. Now, just because they don't approach me with any trades, that might just be because his trade value is a little bit too high, right? So if I go to a manual trade here, and we put, did I pass him? I must have passed him. Hang on, let's sort by potential. Karpatsev. If I go through some teams, there you go. The Buffalo Sabres want him. Conservative buyer. That makes sense. Conservative buyer. So, not the full-on buyers. Oh, never mind. Detroit wants him there. So, yeah, so some buyers want him. I do not want to trade him to the Western Conference, all right? But Sergei Karpatsev. Now, we talked about this team in the summary. The Montreal Canadiens. Look at that cap space. They got $8 million worth of cap space. They've got a big contract year upcoming this season. They got major decisions to make. But when you look at their blue line, it's already set with all of those medium elite players. And even if they cap off at mid-80s, at medium top four, they still have a very good blue line. It's their forward core that's actually looking a little bit weak. And if you look at their right wingers, behind Caulfield, you got Oliver Bjork. Oliver is his first name? Hang on, I gotta get that, make sure that's right. Yeah, Oliver Bjorkstrand. He's got 1 year left at $5.4 million, 34 years of age. Karpatsev would immediately be their second best right winger on this squad. So you know what? Karpatsev, I am going to trade you to the Montreal Canadiens. They have won the President's Trophy last year. They're going for it, all right? Now, we have our first rounder from this year for the New York Islanders. Not our first rounder, sorry. We have a first rounder for this year from the New York Islanders. That was the Michelli trade. We don't have a first rounder for next season, and then we get back to our first rounders by 2032. So, you know what? I would like to trade for a first rounder from Montreal in 2031. That way you get one more year to grow that team, and you should no doubt be a playoff team at next season with Karpatsev, right? Now, is there anything else on this team that we can get? If I'm giving up my fourth liners, we might as well try to get some fourth liners back on this team. So Caulfield, no, we're not taking him. Suzuki, yeah, so 82 overall. We'll take a look at the trade afterwards. But 82 overall, he's already going to be, because Bjorkstrand's not going to be here, he's already going to be a top 6 player for them. So it absolutely fits for them on their squad. I need some fourth liners. Roy, no, I'm not taking him. 3 years left at 4.5. Farrell, 1 year left at 2.245. Let's see, Sean Farrell, playmaker. Fourth line. Now, that's interesting. I wouldn't mind trying that, but the fact that he's a playmaker in the bottom 6, I'm not looking for that. We already have so many playmakers on this team. Sean Monahan, 34 years of age. You know what? I wouldn't mind a Sean Monahan. That face-off rating. One of the things I've noticed about our team, once we get to the playoffs, even in the real simulation, when we jump into our overtime, we don't have a bona fide face-off taker. To have an 87 overall face-off man on the fourth line, that could be huge. And also, penalty kill, what's his chemistry? He doesn't like any of the chemistry. It's only 3 bar. But you know what? Yeah, I'd be willing to do that. 34, has he got an extension? He doesn't have an extension. All right, so I wouldn't mind trying to get my hands on a Sean Monahan as well. Just for the fourth line, we can definitely trade for fourth liners over the course of the years. Or anyone else? Farrell was the playmaker, right? Hang on. Farrell was the playmaker. Beck is a two-way forward. He's got good face-offs as well. Nothing. I don't know anything about him. The difference between Beck and Monahan, though, is Monahan is 34 years of age. So, you know, Beck, that could be a part of their future. Fortier, 1 year left. Third forward line, all penalty-killing lines. What's his stats look like? Defensive awareness. Yeah, no, there's not really much here. Okay, so we'll just try for Sean Monahan just for the face-offs, right? So, Montreal, I would be willing to give you Karpatsev for your next year's first-round pick and Sean Monahan. I think that's a fair trade. You're getting a nice young player locked up for under $3 million over the next 8 seasons. All right, so will it go through? Trade rejected. You've met our block needs well enough, but the value you have is too far off. All right, so that first rounder for next season, because they're a conservative buyer, I could understand that. Is there anything else I could give them? Let me see here. Let me see. Not giving Larson, not giving Doan, not giving any of these guys. I want to hold on to my rookies. No, I'm not doing any of that. I'll give you a draft pick. You know what? I'll give them, we got the New York Islanders second in the Michelli trade. I'd be willing, you know what? Let me see if I can give them our second. I'd be willing to look at that second rounder as just we're moving up in the second for a chance at a draft lottery, and we're giving up Karpatsev. There's probably other players that we could go after, but right now my roster looks good, so I'm willing to do this. Sergei Karpatsev and a Utah Yetis second for next year, for Montreal's first for next season, and a fourth liner in Sean Monahan. Will it go through? Trade accepted. So thank you very much for the Stanley Cup, Sergei Karpatsev. It was a great rookie year for you, but good luck in Montreal. All right, hang on. I don't want to do this. Edit NHL lines. Well, they're going to force me to do it. All right, because Karpatsev was in there. Karpatsev comes out. You put back in Sean Monahan. I'll back out because I want to see Montreal. Yeah, so Montreal now with this lineup. Let's see where Karpatsev fits in. Let's see where he fits in on this team. You got Caulfield, you got Suzuki, you got Henneman, you got Dak, you got Slavkovsky, you got Bjorkstrand, who's got 1 year left, and then you got Karpatsev right there at 22 years of age. All right, so I thought that was a great fit for the Montreal Canadiens. We didn't need him. His value is only going to go down. For me to grow him into a good player, I'd need to play him on the first line, give him power play time, but we already figured that out with Raimo Curry. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially done not having any first rounders. With the Michelli trade at the draft, and now with the Karpatsev trade in preseason, we have 2 first rounders, I should say, not first overall, first rounders from the Islanders and the Montreal Canadiens this year and next year, and then by 2032, we are back at it. All right? So there's what a little success in the Stanley Cup playoffs can do, but you can't hold on to a team. So bye-bye Quinn Hughes, bye-bye Karpatsev. Oh, my God. So let's go back and edit the lines here, see what we got for the regular season. So Curry, Cooley, Vesey, Laine, Doan, Gunther, Nabokov, Sivan, Norinen, yes, Monahan. Let me see your stats. It's actually not bad for the third and fourth line. That's actually really good. So if I put you there, Tukkanen. I might want to drop Tukkanen down to the AHL, but also I kind of want to play him. I don't know what I want to do this year. I think I might start him on the fourth line this year, and then you got Noah Gregor. So yeah, I like Sean Monahan as the fourth line center in there. Does he kill penalties? Hang on. Werenski, Chikrin. No, we're gonna go Kurtz there, and Lindstein, Kesselring. This guy, Samu Lamala, we picked him up in free agency. The fans suggested it. He's got pinch cycle and he does kill penalties. It's not a bad fit, but for right now, I'm gonna go Caden Gooley. The chemistry doesn't get affected 5v5, and Caden Gooley's an 83 overall, so kind of like last year's Romanoff, right? Power play. All right, so we got Veshy, we got Cooley, we got Line, we got Kurtz in there, we got Curry, Cooley, Veshy, and Cooley. Yeah, that looks great. The second line power play. All right, so here's where we're going to have some fun. Now, we got to play our top guys, obviously. I don't want Veshy or Line not getting on the two-man power play or the doubling up on the power play. They are pure goal scorers. This is where they go off. So Line and Veshy in there. And because we want to make sure Cooley has a really good season, Cooley's going to double up on the power play as well, right? Now, I want to get Kurtz playing. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking of something on the fly here. You know what? I think Cooley will be all right because he's going to get first-line penalty kill time. Cooley's all right getting one. I'd like to, now that we've made the change and we're not going for Karpatsev, we can either choose to get Gunther and Doan better, or we can give Sivan and Nornin a chance to get better. Considering that Gunther and Doan will be getting second-line time with Line, their point total should go up a little bit there. But Sivan and Nornin, I don't know what their peak is. I mean, passing 97 for Nornin. Sivan's an interesting one. I really want to, Sivan was the one I wanted to put on the line with Cooley, but I'm thinking about Nornin as well. So you know what? Yeah, the second-line power play. Cooley, you're out of there. All right, we're going to go with Sivan. There it is. We're going to go Sivan, and we're going to go with Nornin. We're going to try it out. I want to see. To hell with the chemistry. We're doing the same thing that we did last year, where we're going to focus on some of the players that look like they could have a huge future with this team. But we're still using Veshy, Line, and Kurtz, basically, as our three players that need to get points. All right, Cooley's in there with Curry, and then you got Sivan, and you got Nornin. The four-man power play, Cooley, Veshy, Kurtz, Line. Yeah, that's fine. The four-man power play, I'm going to give Gunther and Doan some power play time here with Veshy and with Line. All right, we'll just give them a little bit. The four-man power play, they shouldn't get too much, but just in case we can get them a few more points, why not? Right wing, Line, very good. So Line's in there. Veshy's at the center position. Line's on the point. And then you got Gunther and Doan. Just for a few more points. Now, the penalty kill. Here's where it gets fun. Now, Curry. Curry still doesn't like the penalty kill. I don't know if any of those X factors are good for the penalty kill. The only thing that looks good for the penalty kill would be shot blocking, the ice pack, and then shutdown. Elite rush defending. But that's not stick 'em up. That's not yoink. And that's not the octopus one. What's it called? I forget the hell. So the +2, so if I replace him with like a Nabokov, it actually goes up to +3. So again, you can't look at Curry as just like a playmaker. He's like an offensive guy. He's like he's like a unicorn. Who the hell knows what Curry is? But Boris Nabokov's not getting any power play time, nothing. Agent 47 is my top penalty killer. I'm utilizing him, all right? Gregor as well. Yeah, Gregor is going to be on the top line penalty kill. In fact, no, it's going to be Cooley because Cooley did come off that. It's going to be Cooley because Cooley came off the second line power play. Werenski and Chikrin. If I go Kurtz, go Lindstein. I go Kesselring. Chikrin gives me a +2, so if I go Kesselring, gives me a +3. All right, so there you go. Cooley, Nabokov, Werenski, and Kesselring for a +3. Monahan does like the penalty kill. Oh my God, this was a great pickup. Okay, so Tukkanen likes it as well. Tukkanen likes the penalty kill. Okay, so we're on to something here. No. Douglas, you're out of there for Curry. No, you're out of there for Gunther. There you go. I got to give Gunther that extra time. There you go. Gunther likes the penalty kill, so that's why we're keeping Gunther with Monahan, Gooley, and Kurtz. That would be Lindstein. +2. Look at that. +3, +2 on the penalty kill. And that leaves us then with Chikrin and Kurtz and Gregor and Curry with the 0. All right, so we don't have any bad penalty killing lines now. Now, come the playoffs, I can play our best players on the first line penalty kill and the second line penalty kill. But for right now, +3, +2, and a 0. All right, but I really want to focus on giving Nabokov that chance over Curry. Curry's getting all the offensive looks now. Nabokov is our guy, Agent 47. 3-man penalty kill. That can be Cooley up front. It's going to be, what the hell? Okay, so Gregor, Douglas. Why the hell is Douglas in there? Cooley. There you go. All right, Cooley, you're going to go to the first line with Werenski. And what in the heck is going on, man? Cooley, the first line, for God's sakes. Lindstein, Kesselring. Okay, so I can't get any zeros there, or +1, so we're just going to have to deal with some negatives here. Lindstein probably here. There you go, with Cooley. And with, yeah, I'll go Curry. No. I'll go taking off Curry there. I want Nabokov. We got to give ice time to Nabokov, all right? So there you go. There's Nabokov with Gooley and Lindstein. And then Gregor with Kesselring and Kurtz. So we're going to protect Kurtz on the penalty kill. The 4-on-4 lines look like that. Werenski, let me get Kurtz in there. It's going to be Line and Curry, sure. Chikrin and Gooley, sure. Kesselring and Lindstein. Gunther and Gregor, sure. Let me get, instead of Gregor, let me get Doan in there. Doan is going to have a rough year. These guys, Doan and Gunther might drop off, but then Sivan and what's his name? Sivan, Nabokov, and Norton might jump up, so I got to try it. 3-on-3 lines. Let me get Kurtz in there with Cooley and Veshy, and Chikrin, and then Werenski, and then Chikrin. Should have done this beforehand. But it's the first video of the day, or first video of the season, so I might as well show you guys. And then the extra attackers, we got Veshy, and we can go Line. All right, Veshy and Line, 2 separate lines, my 2 goal scorers. Shootout, it's going to be Veshy shooting 3rd, sure. Line, Curry, no, Curry can shoot 4th. Cooley's got some hands. Line, Veshy, Curry, and Kurtz. You know what? Curry does have the stick hand. No, I'm going to leave him in there. No, I'm not going to mess with that. Swayman and Coronen. No, sorry, Coronen. You're out of there for Donovan Hines. We'll see. We'll see what we can do here, all right? So, scratch players. Now, Samu Lamala, that was the guy that you guys suggested. He does kill penalties, but he's pinch cycle, so I'm going to send him back down. And Tukkanen. Do we want Tukkanen to play at all? I'm looking at the lineups. I mean, I guess he's not good enough just yet. Tukkanen for Douglas, though? I got to try it. Yeah, I got to try Tukkanen back there just to start. Yeah, because if I can get those face-offs up there as well. I'll put him on the wing, though. We'll see how that plays out. All right, so there is your team, ladies and gentlemen. The AHL squad. Let's see what we got. So the AHL is going to be able to hopefully make the playoffs this year. If Brisson or Kako need to be called up to the NHL squad, we can do it. And then they just got all of the depth players as well. Hellison, Peterson. I mean, I got so many. I want to make sure Larson is playing. Yeah, but I don't know if any of these guys are growing. And then we got Bloomquist and the Tower of Tamlin in the net. All right, so there you go. There is your Year 6 Utah Yeti. Karpatsev is gone. You guys are up to date with the storylines. All right, let me get a quick save in there just so I know it's locked in. Don't want to have to do all that crap again now, do I? All right, now we can start the simulation. But bad news for me, good news for you guys, because I edited it out. The first stage of scouting will be done on October 1st. Oh, God. So we might as well simulate to that. Hey, and I forgot to turn off my trading block as well. Well, let's do some power of video editing. Okay, so went through, did all the scouting for you guys. The next stage of scouting is at the 1st of November, so we can get 1 month of simulating in there. The preseason went pretty good. What was that, 4, 5, and 1? 5-2 in preseason, ladies and gentlemen. So our first game of the regular season is at home against the Winnipeg Jets. Do you think there's a banner raising ceremony in this game? I gotta jump in to see. Well, I don't know. EA Sports dropping the ball. We'll just have to imagine the banners in the rafters. Oh my God. Typical, just typical. No banner raising celebration for your team. We'll just have to imagine it. So first game of the season up against the Winnipeg Jets, the team that almost reverse swept us. I'd love to get a sense of how this team can simulate with our new looks. No longer we having Quinn Hughes on the team. No longer with Karpatsev. Curry on the first line. That's going to be an interesting one. Curry on the first line during a real-time simulation like this. A grinder with all of those minutes on the ice. A, will he take penalties? B, will he lock down the other team's top line? Just rough them up. That'd be great for us. C, will it affect our goal scoring at all? I mean, weird things in this game, you know, who knows what causes it. Logan Cooley's going to open up the goal scoring with a power play marker, followed up by Ladislav Sivan. So that's why we chose Sivan, just because the growth from low elite to medium elite and the center sniper position, it just worked better for this team than the right wing two-way forward that Karpatsev had. Karpatsev could have been the guy, don't get me wrong, but now that we know Curry's the first liner, I just need a second line center of the future. Sivan's the guy. That means Karpatsev falls to a bottom six two-way forward. And a guy like that has too much trade value. The whole NHL will be looking for a player like that, a rookie who just won a Stanley Cup, locked up 8 years. So we turned that into a first-round lottery pick for next season. Game one's going well. Game one's going well. Rymo Curry, first line, baby. Oh, baby, Dylan Gunther with the empty netter. Nice. That's a great way to start off the year. All right, a shutout for Bulldog, Swayman. And the Utah Yetis are off to year 6 in the right way. So points, Line and Veshy getting through with assists. They only had 15 minutes time on ice. What the heck happened in that game? I guess we spread it out. Kurt's up there with 24. And then, of course, Bulldog starting the year with a 37-save shutout. Absolutely fantastic. All right, so let's continue the simulation. Let's get to January 1st in this video. I'll take care of the scouting. We also have to worry about the New York Islanders and where they fit. We have their first overall, they're the first rounder this season, so that could be good again, just like it was that landed us Kurtz. Here we go, the Minnesota Wild. So I showed you their roster. They got a lot of good forwards on that team, not much of a blue line. Let's see, and they beat us 4-2. There you go, Chase Davidson. That's a small little moral victory for you. You got the Philadelphia Flyers. They don't have much. The Buffalo Sabres, the non-playoff team, and then the Montreal Canadiens. Karpatsev. I want to see that game. So Philadelphia, let's see what we got. An 8-1 victory against the Philadelphia Flyers. Zach Werenski's been injured with a neck strain, so that is going to be November 2nd. So I'll just replace that player right now. Who is going to be the replacement? Is Hellison, or is it? No, there's somebody else. Because we brought in. Hang on, I'm forgetting it. Because we brought in. It was that Lamella guy, right? Yeah. Lamella. Hang on. Werenski. Oh, no, Gooley. Right. Wait, who was it? Hang on. No, Lamella. There he is. Yeah, he's up there on the line. Sorry, boys. Just getting a little confused. You know, that actually kind of works out because as a pinch cycle, he can actually play on the first line. Now, maybe I can send this guy down, but he's too good to be playing in the AHL. So as an injury depth replacement, it's not bad, and he actually kills penalties for me. So I'll leave him in there for right now. But come January 1st, if you guys would like to upgrade, that's definitely trade bait. Unless we switch to Reed Camilleri, there's no point in holding on to a guy like that who's going to have to play on the third line. So here we go, the Montreal Canadiens with a record of 2-1-0. Let's jump in there. I got to see if Karpatsev scores against his old team. It's in Montreal, baby. So the Canadiens with that great blue line, but our power play still flexing its muscle. And Curry's on the power play now. And I've always had this theory. I don't know if you guys agree with it. Like, what does a grinder do in the simulation? You guys all assume that, oh man, he's going to suck because he's not going to be good for offense, which will hinder the growth. Is there any aspect of a grinder that actually helps out the plus minus, which will actually help out the offense even more? Because he keeps the puck out of the net. He wins more puck battles. He gets them the puck more. Like, how would the game see that? Boris Nabokov, Agent 47, scoring his second goal of the game for the Utah Yeti. I don't think, like, body checkers, I think that's what the physical category does. I think it's about puck possession. You have a lot of body checkers on your team, and you can control the puck, control puck possession, keep that plus minus in your favor. They do take a lot of penalties, and they're not necessarily good defensively in terms of, like, defensive awareness. But I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out what the physical stats do. Our first line is really physical with Jared Veshy and with Rymo Curry. So we'll see at the end of this year if they have a really good plus-minus or not. This game is far from over, though. The Montreal Canadiens are only 1 goal away. Bjorkstrand gets them back within 1, but a late power play for the Utah Yeti. Late power play for Montreal. I was going to say Karpatsev. That'd be amazing. Patrick Laine is going to score the empty netter. All right, so we do defeat the Montreal Canadiens in Karpatsev's first game against his old team. A -1 out there. No points. Oh, Karpatsev. Nice try, buddy. All right, so let's get, I got to get to November 1st so I can send the scouts back out again. So it's only a few weeks away. Game against Calgary with Austin Matthews and those young snipers on the team. What do we got here? That's an overtime loss. Back again against Chase Davidson. Look at the Wild. 4-1-0 to start the year for the Minnesota Wild. Have they turned it around? Should be good to see here. 3-1 loss against the Wild. All right, what have the Wild done? They've beaten us twice now. Let's see what their lines look like. I've already shown you guys what their roster, but now their lines and the combinations. Hang on a second. I do wish this was a little bit faster to flip through, but I got to take a look at the Minnesota Wild here. So Minnesota, you got Boldy, you got Misa, you got Keller. Man, where the hell is he injured? Kaprizov. Yeah, Kaprizov's down with an injury. They're not even playing Kaprizov. So you can imagine what Kaprizov would do to this lineup. So Jansevsky is finally getting some ice time. Although, that was a highly first overall pick, man. And then Sonnenberg. They're playing their medium elite Sonnenberg. So he's going to grow. All right. So Chase Davidson playing Sonnenberg. Their blue line will get better. They got 7 amazing forwards on that team. My God, if they don't make the playoffs, I don't know what's wrong with that squad. And the last game before November 1st, up against the Colorado Avalanche, that's a 3-2 victory. Zach Werenski is back. I'll take care of that myself. And here we are. So let me go back and do some more scouting. Okay, so the last round of scouting is complete. The skills assessments, I forgot to tell you guys this, we have our 4 pro scouts again, but they're only scouting defensemen. Any age of defensemen, if we need to pick up some bottom 6, some 5th or 6th defensemen come the trade deadline, we can do that. Our forward core is actually looking pretty good, so just gonna let the pro scouts worry about defensemen right there. Nothing to show on the draft board just yet. We're still very early in this season. 5-2-1. No point looking at the team stats or the player stats. Let us just get back to simulating. Back-to-back games up against Washington. Not a good team, but they got Tim Law over there. The new Ovi, McKenna and Law, the new Backstrom and Ovi combination. And there you go, 7-6 victory and a 3-1 victory for us. So we are rolling. All right, we are rolling. The San Jose Sharks with all of those top picks, man, every year. Take a defenseman, get a sniper, do something different. Jesus. Up against the Sharks, that's a 4-1 victory. The Vegas Golden Knights, they still got Eichel. They still got Evan Bouchard on that team. That's a 5-2 victory. So all of a sudden, your Utah Yeti are on a 5-game winning streak. That's what I like to see. Keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. Martin Pospisil is available. Let me see this player. A defenseman maybe, right wing. 79 overall, injured, all penalty killing lines. Nah, don't know how long the injury is. I'm going to decline that. That was the Rangers dropping someone. Oh, man, Rangers getting old in this universe. So the San Jose Sharks, again, we just beat them a week ago, and we beat them again, 8-1 over 2 games there. The LA Kings, 7-1. Their roster, I don't know what they're doing over there. They don't have prospects. They have all these medium top 6 guys in the 30 age range. Beat them 5-1. Florida Panthers, they still got a bunch of their roster players that you'd be familiar with. Barkov and Kachuk and Reinhart, right? So they're still a good squad. 11-7-0. Let's see what we got up against them. The winning streak continues. The winning streak continues. The Seattle Kraken, I knew it. A dark horse team. I knew it. With Kachuk, with Vince Dunn, and then that center core of young talent. Watch out for the Kraken this year, man. I'm telling you. Gotta watch out. Could face them in the friggin' West for sure. 2-1 victory. Only 2-1 over them. The Chicago Blackhawks, 7-8-2. They're below 500. Bury them, boys. Bury them. 5-1. Let's go. The Dallas Stars getting lucky with the draft lottery, moving up from 16th to 6th. Rempe is available to play. I'll get him back in there. You know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Rempe, you're sitting for a little bit right now, my man. You're sitting for a little bit right now. Things are going real good. What's our Tucson record looking like? Our Roadrunners are 12-2-1. There you go, Isaiah Angelitis. You wanted the chance to play in the playoffs. The head coach, he got sick and tired of only developing. He's going to the playoffs this year with a record like that. 12-2-1. There you go, buddy. All that hard work down there, developing Nabokov, developing Kurtz, developing Curry for me. I got to show him some love. Norton as well, and Sivan. Yeah, I mean, this guy, he's played everyone for us in the AHL. The Ottawa Senators. All right, got to take a look at it. The Ottawa Senators and their lineup. I called it what quite possibly could be the best 5-man line in the NHL. Not the whole team, just that 5-man line, like of the future. It looks so good. So the Ottawa Senators, no, they are not going Ernie with Hanzus, all right? So they're splitting up the 2 first overall picks. Hanzus has 5 goals, 5 assists in 23 games played. Bear Ernie, high franchise, 9 goals, 7 assists. He's definitely on his way. What about their blue line? They got Sanderson with Lynch. They're keeping Sawcast and Lynch away from one another. So you can see the team growing. They're not there yet. You can see the team on its way. But I don't want to jump in. I don't want to do anything. I just want to see how long this winning streak can go for. We're killing it right now. All right, so back-to-back games up against the Ottawa Senators and Detroit. Quinn Hughes, the first matchup against Quinn Hughes. I would love to take a look at that game. 7-2 victory. Whoa, the Detroit Red Wings are 18-4-2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I can already hear it now in the comment section. Johnny, you should have kept him. What the hell? Kurt's never going to be as good as Quinn Hughes. You're never going to have a 96 overall defender. I get it. I get it. You guys are beating a friggin' dead horse, man. So Raymond, Larkin is still a good player. Yeah, they're ready to win right now. So DeBrincat, Raymond, and Larkin, they're capable of holding that first line. Casper and Comfer and Fabry, yeah. They got depth, yeah. The forward core looking good. Blue line, that brings it all together. Now, 2 offensive defensemen on the first line. That's what I did not want to do. So we'll see how that plays out for them. They got a good team. And then in the net, Daig, yeah, there's their stud prospect. He's not even a prospect, but medium elite goaltender, Daig. So Detroit looking like a very good team. No better team to simulate a real-time sim against. You know what, though? I don't want to do a real-time sim. We're on a winning streak. No, you know, I'm not doing a real-time sim. I got to let this winning streak play out. How many are we up to right now? We are 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a 12-game winning streak for your Utah Yeti. I cannot adjust anything, all right? So up against the Detroit Red Wings with Quinn Hughes. We beat them. That's 13. Lucky number 13. Let's keep going. Up against the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference. Good team still. Oh my God, it's 14 in a row. What have we done? I'm not looking at the stats. I'm not doing anything. We're keeping this going. The Islanders with a good record of 13, 6, and 4, ladies and gentlemen. So, it doesn't look like we're gonna get a draft lottery selection from the Islanders. It's still a little early though. It could go our way. But how is Matias Maccelli playing over there? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Hang on a second. Islanders. Let's see what we got. Maccelli is a first-line talent on the Islanders. And he's got himself 20 points in 23 games played. Congratulations, Islanders. Way to go, Matias Maccelli. So that was a good trade for them. You got Maccelli making $6 million per year, giving you 20 points. You got Drew Wynn making $10 million per year, right? Yeah. But he got some points in there. They got a blue line. All right. Is it the year of the Islanders? Maccelli was a good one. So the 2 teams that I traded for, the Detroit Red Wings and the Islanders, both ended up getting a pretty good end of that deal. Good. I'm happy for them. I got draft picks. They got roster players, and we're in 2 different conferences. No problems. So 14 in a row. Can we get 15 in a row? 15 in a row. My God. What is this team that I've put together here? Jesus, and this isn't even with Quinn Hughes. This is legitimately my team. And without Maccelli. And without Karpatsev. The New Jersey Devils, 15 in a row. This has got to come to an end eventually. 16 in a row. They keep on winning. What is the record? I don't even know what the record is in real life. 17, 9, and 1 for the Boston Bruins. Good things. 17 in a row. The Buffalo Sabres looking like they're going to miss the playoffs for like the 20th season in a row. My God, man. That's the team that we lose to. It's always like that, isn't it? Yeah, you overlook the team. 21, 3, and 1 for your Utah Yetis. Now, it would be no better time to look at some of the stats to see who's doing what and how our team looks, right? These could be some of the most juiced up stats I've ever seen. Goals for per game, 4.44. Oh, yeah. Goals against per game, 2.16. Oh, yeah. Power play percentage, 35.9. And then oh my God. Well, that's going to happen after you go 16 in a row. Jesus. That's amazing. That is amazing. And player stats, let me see here. Jared Vesey, 43 in 25. He's got 20 goals. He's a plus 16. Cooley, he's got 36. What about Curry? Curry's almost point per... I'm telling you guys, what do you think about my... I gave you guys a suggestion. It's just an opinion. It might be completely wrong. The grinder actually might not take the points away from Vesey, but helps him out plus minus. So Vesey will get even more points, even strength. Vesey's got, what is that? Vesey's got 23 even strength points in 25 games played. And then an extra 20 power play points. Curry's doing something to the simulation that I'm not preparing for. And then defenseman, he's not going to get, oh my God. Well, a winning streak will do that for you. Thank you, Sway. Everyone's doing a good job. But wait a minute. Are you telling me, wait. Are you telling me that Hines hasn't played a game yet? It's only been Swayman to play, 25 games played. Hines hasn't gotten a start. Oh my God, Adam Wright has seen enough, I guess. Do I have automated goalie rotations on? Oh shit. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. I don't want Swayman to get injured. Hang on a second. Injuries are on. Yeah, 5 minutes. Fully healed. Auto-rotate goalies are up. What in the hell? Did he start at all? Hang on a second, I got questions. I mean, I guess if you're on a winning streak, there's no need to change your goalie, right? I mean, the head coach is thinking of the exact same thing that I was thinking of. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hang on. Goaltenders. Swayman, Hines. He's got no games played. Whatever. Whatever, he's still back there. That is so funny. Adam Wright he's added up to here with that kid. He's not playing him. Well, as long as we got the first year out of the way, that's fine. That is too funny. So all we got to do is take it up here to January 1st. So let's go up against the New Jersey Devils, who I thought had the best roster in the NHL. You kidding me? They're just at 500, and we lose 2 in a row. Oh, my goodness. Dallas, Montreal again. Let's see, the Dallas Stars. We're going to go on a little bit of a losing streak now. There you go. Break that losing streak with a 1-0 victory. The offense is shriveled up a little bit, but I can't be angry after a 16-in-a-row winning streak. My God. Montreal Canadiens, 7-3. There you go. Get right back on it. The Boston Bruins. Magnus Larsson's been injured with a mild concussion. Estimated return is December 25th. That's not that bad. 5-4 loss against Boston. Back-to-back games in the Atlantic on the road against Toronto and Tampa Bay. All right, so we've kind of not a rough patch, but we're back to like 1-1, 2-1 kind of thing. That crazy winning streak. I don't know where that came from. Calgary Flames with their young snipers and what's his name? Austin Matthews. I'll get Larson back in there at the first. It's okay. That's a 6-5 victory. Chicago with Connor Bedard. They're just above 500. Bury them. Bury them. There you go. Bury them again. That could be our third regulation win against Chicago here. Bury them in the regular season. Absolutely bury them. Buried. 5-2 win there. 4-2 win there. 5-1 win at the beginning of the month. Burying the Chicago Blackhawks as we are here at the beginning. Ola Pettersson, I'll replace him. I'll take care of that. We are here at January 1st, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I want you guys to comment away on this type of video to start the year. I want to get the storylines in my head. I'd like to show you guys storylines. And also, if you guys have any suggestions or requests for information that you would like to see starting in the next video, go nuts with it, all right? I think it's important that every time we start up a new regular season, we kind of take our time to world build a little bit. It's good for me. It's all good for you guys as well. And that's the way storylines pop up. Like the Seattle Kraken. Look at that record. 18, 13, and 7. So let's take a look at the individual stats again. We will summarize year 6 so far, and we'll see what we got. So we're at the top of our division. We're killing it. Let's compare the entire league based on our stats here. Goals for per game, clearly the best goal-scoring team in the NHL, without question. Most points in the NHL, tied with the Red Wings for the best team. So that Quinn Hughes trade was great for them, man. Let me tell you. Goals against per game. Best in the NHL. So best goals for, best goals against. So you guys can say what you want about Quinn Hughes. Doesn't seem to be hurting us yet. Playoffs, that might be a different thing. 30.9% for the power play percentage. Penalty kill, 84. So not at the top. Jesus, the Kraken are killing it. But still, 84 for previous years for us. I'm fine with that. At home, we're 11-3-1. On the road, 16-3-0. And in the last 10, 6-4-0. So slow down a little bit. That's okay. And then the player stats. Let's see what we got here. Jesus Christ, Jared Vesey. What are you doing? Plus 20. Guys, I'm telling you, what did we do with Curry? I built something. I keep on clicking on him, expecting to find an answer. We found something with Curry. These X factors. He takes penalties. He body checks. The plus minuses are up there. Patrick Laine's doing good. Cooley's doing good. 25 goals on the year for Vesey, so another 50-goal season incoming. Gunther, Monahan. Monahan's having a good year. What's Monahan's face-off percentage? Hang on. 55% for Monahan on the face-off. I love that. Nornan with 20 points. Where's Sivan? Sivan with 18 points, 11 goals. So a shooter, but has a shooting percentage of 14.5. See the difference between Karpatsev? In fact, let's bring up Karpatsev and take a look at his shooting percentage. Montreal Canadiens. Let's see, Karpatsev. He's got himself 10 points in 34 games played. Shooting percentage, 5.4%, and arguably one of the top shooters on his team. 56 shots. Time on ice, though. His time on ice is only 11 minutes. If you double that, which is what those guys are getting, he's up to 100 shots. So, yeah, Karpatsev's a top shooter on this team, but his shooting percentage is like Slavkovsky's, all right? 4%, 5%, yeah. I made the right call with Sergei Karpatsev. So use that to compare Ladislav Sivan, right? Nornan's the playmaker with the high passing. Sivan's the sniper with the high shooting, and his shooting will only get better. That's beautiful, man. That is beautiful. Kurtz with 23 assists in 34 games played, 9 power play points. Kurtz, no X factors just yet, but really enjoying that from Kurtz. Chikrin, plus players. Everyone's a plus player. Goaltender. Hey, Hines got it. Hey, 930 save percentage for Donovan Hines. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. And Jeremy Swayman having a great job also. Now, storylines for the NHL. Entire league, we got Jared Vesey leading the league. Matthew Nyes on Toronto with William Nylander. No longer Austin Matthews there. Matthew Nyes can show off. Another Matthew from Arizona. McDavid, Cooley's in there as well. That's great to see. Goals, DeBrincat, Vesey. Yeah, look what Quinn Hughes is doing for DeBrincat. That's awesome. Assists, Max Domi. Yeah, so Nyes is going off. Yeah, plus minus. Let's see what we got. Kurtz. Kurtz is the highest plus minus player in the NHL. Say what you want about him. I'm glad I held on to him. Defenseman, Cale Makar, Adam Fox, McAvoy, Morrissey, Hughes, Sider, Dunn, Anderson. So he's not there yet, but there he is. He's on his way. Just needs some X factors, and Kurtz's point totals are going to go up. He's at 27. The top guy in the NHL is at 40, all right? So relax. Hughes is at 33. What's his name is at 27. It's not that much more, although I know Hughes is helping Detroit be a top team with that defensive category. And then goaltenders, Sway. Another Vezina for Sway. That'd be great. Rookie skaters, let me see. Tim Law, baby. Ovi 2.0 with 22 points, 12 goals. He's got the one-timer. Hey, look at that. Nornen's there. Nornen's a rookie this season. Maybe he can win Rookie of the Year. Let's go. All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think of this new setup. We are going to do our due diligence in the next video for any potential trades. Excuse me. And what about around the NHL? The Islanders are at the top of the Metro, and the Red Wings top of the Atlantic. So no movement right there. What about the Montreal Canadiens? We have their pick from next season. Montreal 18, 15, and 1. But remember, it's next year's first overall pick. First round pick, I should say. So, if you guys made it this far, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications. We will be streaming again tomorrow, going from January 1st of year 6 all the way up to the playoffs. Go nuts in the comment section. Let me know about anything and everything, any requests. We also have a bunch of resources, music, and fan art that you can find on our Discord. Take it easy, boys, and I will see you in the next one.